Great. Okay. First of all, thank you very much for introducing me and for having me here. Uh, and I can see a lot of people here, like 78. That's a good number. So all of the students are postgraduate students, correct?
There are some university staff as well. I mean, some
That
of our
that's good.
professors and teachers as well.
That that's good. That's good. Okay. So this is very important because in PhD and even in master's level and for professors, the publication is very important. The research world is global. So this is very important to understand how we will go. We will start with the basics, and then we will go towards the editor's perspective. Uh, I'm Dr. Aamir Rashid. I'm assistant professor of management and more specifically supply chain management. And I am having more than 80 publications in Scopus, Web of Science, ABDC, ABS listed journals. Currently, I'm guest editor for four different journals, and I'm leading the guest editorials there. So what we're gonna have, we will discuss about the editor's perspective more specifically because during the publication journey, uh, what scholars they face different problems in context of rigor study, contribution of the study, and other perspective which we will discuss today. By the end of this session, you will be able to identify what makes research publishable, apply research rigor principles, position your study for a strong contribution, understand editor and reviewer expectations, develop structured, impactful manuscripts, navigate submission and revision process, and avoid common mistakes. Starting with the critical components of a very strong manuscript. These are the basic components uh, for those who are new. First of all, title and the abstract. Then we have introduction. In introduction, we introduce the problem, we introduce the research gap, and also impactful research. Normally, we build arguments based on some statistics figures, like facts and figures. Uh, then theoretical support, most of the time for the quantitative research. Okay, so theoretical support because theory uh, leads the hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis derived from the theory. Without theory, most of the new scholars they miss the theory support. Okay, they don't take support from the theory. Then literature review and hypothesis development. Hypothesis development specifically uh, with the help of previous research and preferably uh, within the 3 years or maximum 5 years of research, old research. Okay, because if we are building arguments and we are citing like 1980s or 1990s paper, so that's outdated now. Okay, uh, there are new trends in the market. There are new trends in the research in specific your area. So try to cite the latest references. Then methodology and that analysis, results and discussion, and then the conclusion and references. References can be in APA style formatting or MLA, or there are other styles also by seeing the journal specific guidelines. Then navigating the submission process. What are the steps? First of all, prepare your manuscript for submission. Following the guidelines, this is important because all the publishers, they are having different guidelines. And within the publishers, specific journals, they are having their specific relevant, very specific guidelines. So we need to consider those guidelines and we have to prepare the manuscripts accordingly. Understanding editorial decisions. See, there are different types of editorial decisions. first of all, rejection. It's clear rejection that the paper is no more under consideration, major revision, minor revision, or acceptance. Okay, most of there are very rare cases or very rare chances that you will have acceptance at the very early stage, very in first round specifically. Most of the time, the paper goes on and follow 2, 3, or even 5 to 6 rounds of revisions. Then revising and resubmission by seeing and understanding the editorial decision, and then the final acceptance and the production or in press, you can say. Then how peer review process works. There are different types of peer review: single blind, double blind, and open peer review. In single blind, the reviewers can see the names of authors, but authors, they cannot see the names of reviewers. In double blind, authors cannot see the reviewers and the reviewers cannot see the authors. Okay? An open review, both can see their names, who reviewed the paper and who is the author. And after that, after receiving the reviews, we have to respond. And how we should respond? I'm having some example for you. But I think so. The link is not working, but we can have after the slideshow. I will share some examples that how we can respond to the reviewers' comments. Ethical considerations. The paper should not be plagiarized. Data should be accurate and valid. It should not falsification and the duplicate submission. Some researchers, they submit to multiple outlets. That's inappropriate and unethical. So at one stage, at a time, submit to one journal, wait for the decision. Either it takes 6 months, 1 year, or 1.5 years, no problem. You have to wait. And don't make duplicate submissions. Then further basic concepts about the impact factor. What's the impact factor is? Impact factors are those that have significant influence on their field due to their high quality and relevance. Tips for success: clear and concise writing, logical flow and structure, adhering to journal guidelines, provide strong evidence and arguments with the help of literature, definitely, and proofread carefully. And if you can find the professional or native speaker, that's good for you. But nowadays, people are using ChatGPT or generative AI tools for proofreading. That's good as part of just for proofreading. Don't ask or generate ideas from the generative AI. You can take support and help for proofreading from generative AI. What makes research publishable? See, what truly drives acceptance is a composition, rigor, positioning, and contribution of your research. How? We can have research rigor. First of all, concept credibility and robustness and precision. Then theory method alignment. Your theory should have alignment with the method, and method should be derived from the theory rather than method is driving the theory. This is very important. Validity, internal, external constructs, like we are having different statistical tests. Okay, we do a pilot study before going into the large scale or full scale study to validate the constructs, to validate the items, and then statistical reliability and robustness checks. And what's the takeaway? Weak method, straightforward rejection. Okay, I was just reviewing before this seminar, reviewing a paper. They applied not even first generation analysis. They applied very basic like ANOVA, but the model was very complex. The theory was very good, uh, but the method was not appropriate. So definitely it will lead to a rejection. Theory method alignment, how? Theory must dictate method. Don't choose your method first, choose your explanation first, okay? Hypothesis logically derived from the theory and avoid mismatch. Weak coil claims. Examples are using regression without theory support. There are so many, specifically the regression analysis, the basic regression analysis using SPSS, and the new researchers, they miss the theory. This is very important because if you are not contributing towards theory, or you are not extending or testing the theory, then what's the purpose of your research? The method must test theory. Again, how you can position scholarly, where your paper sits in literature. For example, if you are addressing some HR variables, HR issues, or supply chain issues, where your paper sits in the literature. Identify gap, tension extension, or mechanisms within the field. Avoid generic few studies exist. These are the common words which researchers use in their research. Few studies exist. The bunch of literature is there. Almost right now, we are having thousands of variables and subvariables or their dimensions. So don't say that few studies exist. Uh, yes, some of the variables or constructs, they specifically AI related and AI mitigation and risk mitigation related variables. These are new, but there are so many studies in the research, in the literature. Strong proposition, theoretical advancements, and be precise and theory driven rather than hypothetically, or don't build your arguments based on your assumptions. Now, types of contribution, how you can contribute. First of all, theory building, which is rare for the PhD researchers, but theory testing is very common. Theory extension is very common. Methodologically contribution, like you can use advanced type of methodology by using different statistical tools. Um, for example, when the smart PLS means smart partially square software, this tool was newly introduced, and I was following the co-founders of this tool. Uh, they were happily sharing the news and updates on the publications that our tool has been used in the tourism research. Now our tool has been used in the marketing research, okay, in the supply chain research. So they were happily sharing, and they were grading themselves, okay, uh, by good means. So so it was methodologically contribution, okay, in that sense. Contribution drives acceptance. Without contribution, the reviewers, editor, they criticize the paper. They ask how you are contributing. How editors think. Editor decision logic, like they can decide in minutes by seeing the flow of the research, okay, by having an overview of the research of the paper. How? There are some basic elements. As we discussed, the intro, the theoretical support, if the research is quantitative, the literature support, methodology, data analysis, discussion. By having every overview, they can see that is it appropriate or no, it's well written or no, it's following the scheme, the standard scheme or no. Hmm? So if yes, there are basic components are there, then they read the paper. And then They check the fit with the journal, novelty, theory, method, writing, and there are high chances of desk rejection. Here, I use 60 to 80%, but it's still correct number. Most of the good journals, top tier journals, they have more than 90% rejection rate. Um, so so this is a safe figure, 60 to 80%. Abstract is critical. Why abstract is critical? Because it's first impression, and first impression matters a lot. All the editors, they first read your abstract. They send that abstract to reviewers. Reviewers read the abstract. If they are convinced or they are comfortable with that specific field or area of research, they accept the review invitation. Otherwise, they simply reject or deny that we are busy or something like. How does rejection triggers? No clear contribution, poor journal fit, weak theory, and sometimes inappropriate use of theory, method flaws, and how we can sum up that: avoid generic research, be specific, and target the specific area of problem. Top tier versus average paper. Average paper are they are descriptive, they add incrementally, but the top tier are explanatory and mechanism based. They focus on theory, and not only theory, but in-depth theory. They discuss the theory, they relate the theory, and definitely the methodology derived from the theory. Generalizable insights, and what's the takeaway? Depth over simplicity. Framing for impact. Clear research questions, strong opening tension. Like I earlier mentioned that we can build our argument with facts and figures. Okay, if I'm talking about the resilience, if I'm talking about the tariffs, if I'm talking about um, supply chain resilience, let's suppose. So what are the facts and figures? Like Swiss Canal blockage, when the Swiss Canal blockage was there, I should know that, and I should take support of the facts and figures. How the Strait of Hormuz during this war tension is affecting the supply chain, I should take leverage of those numbers, that how the global economy is being affected. So it will give strong support to build my argument. Okay, explicit contribution. Uh, Based on the research gap, okay, by discussing different literatures, extract the gap and explicitly mention that how your research is contributing, either in the theory, in the literature, or methodologically, or sometimes theory and also the methodology at the same time. Avoid unfocused literature review. And in the literature review, there are two types. Sometimes, but most of the time, researchers, they do literature survey rather than having a critical literature. They don't criticize, they don't take two sides of the literature which is supporting your argument and the literature which is opposing your argument. So this is critical literature review. But most of the time, the researchers do a literature survey. They just mention the literature, and they just simply their arguments are not convincing. Uh, Framing determines impact, definitely. How you are framing, how you are considering these points and inculcating in your research, it will determine the impact. Reviewers' expectations. Again, theory depth, method rigor, insightful results, avoid overclaiming, like this is very novel, this is the first kind of research. So avoid such overclaimings. Reviewers and even editors, they challenge such like overclaimings. To avoid the criticism, avoid overclaimings. Write for experts. Write for experts mean if you are from HR, write for HR experts. Okay, either they are from industry, either they are scholars, researchers, or faculty, but consider them as experts and write for them. File an integration of these perspectives. Strategy, rigor, and positioning. Rigor mean addressing all the basic elements critically and positioning your research for specific journal. All must align from the introduction, research objectives, research questions, literature review, methodology, discussion, everything should be aligned. Most of the researchers here do a mistake. They start from point A and their arguments are around the point A. But in the discussion, all the way from introduction to discussion, they deviate from the point A. They are now between point B or C. They are somewhere else. Partially they are there, but anyway, they are deviated from the point A. So make sure that everything is aligned. Weakness is one, the decision is rejection. Integration leads to success. It's a holistic approach. Follow the holistic approach and follow the standard scheme. From research quality to publication strategy. Now, we have ensured that, okay, we understand that we can write a good paper. Now, publication strategy. If you're targeting wrong journal, it means again, you're wasting your time. You will be waiting for 3 months, 6 months, and after rejection, you will be submitting to another journal, waiting again. So strategize for your publication. Strong research is not enough. Strategy determines placement, right journal, higher success probability. For example, if your journal, if your research is related to marketing, okay, or customers' expectations, huh? So accordingly decide and target the potential journal rather than sending it to Journal of Operations Management, rather than sending it to Journal of Supply Chain Management. Okay, so be specific, and there are so many tools which can help us to find a good journal, a good match between your research and journal. Okay, all the major outlets like Springer, elsewhere, IMRAD somehow they are having journal finder. So you can copy your title, you can copy your abstract, paste there in the given fields, and they will match the text and suggest you the good journals that these are the target. These could be the target journals. Okay, key considerations for identifying right journal. Journal scope and audience, reputation and ranking, open access versus subscriptions. Scope again, for HR, for marketing, supply chain business, or business global business, see the scope of the journal. Their reputation is very important because there are predatory journals. Nobody want to waste their research, okay? Because if you have mistakenly or in any way submitted or published in the predatory journal, they almost accept and publish all type of researches, okay? even they don't read the research. Okay. Um, so avoid the predatory journals, check, and the best way is that go with the good outlets. I am having next slide, I guess so, about the publishers. So just try to go with good publishers because their journals are anyway are good journals. Open access, if open access, they charge money, and for subscription, the authors do not pay. They submit the paper, they publish the paper after signing the copyrights. Then the the institutions or the individuals who want to read the paper, they if they need to have subscription for those journals or for those publishers. So this is the difference between open access and the subscription. There are major journal databases which are common, like Scopus, Web of Science, Australian Business Deans Council, Chartered Association of Business Schools, ABS, and Google Scholar. Google Scholar is the basic one, but most of the time, the institutions they are looking for Scopus, Web of Science, ABDC or ABS, because in United States we focus on ABDC, but in Europe, if we go to the France or Europe institutions, they focus on ABS. And Scopus and Web of Science are common. These are the academic publishers. These are the major outlets. You can blindly trust these publishers because Sage Publishing, let's suppose, some of the FT50 Financial Times 50 journals are listed from the Sage Publishing. Okay. Um, the Elsewhere, Springer Nature. Let me try to open if I can. Yes. Can you see the screen or no? Uh, I have opened a link. I'm not sure that you can see.
No, I think we should open your another screen again. If you request, I can let you open it without any problems.
Yes, yes, you
Or we
can.
can do it. We can do it at the end
And
as well, at your
okay,
convenience.
okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, got it. Okay,
Okay.
so Elsewhere, Springer Nature, Wiley is very good publisher. Elsewhere, very good. Taylor and Francis, American Chemical Association. I specifically targets the engineering side. Emerald having diverse portfolio of journals, Sage Publishing, Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, and the Grotter. So this is not very famous, but anyway, they exist. From targeting to execution. After targeting to the specific journal, and let me, okay, after finishing the slides, I will share some more things. From targeting to execution, selecting the right outlet, as we just discussed, from the publishers, preparing submission materials, managing the process effectively, and all the authors, if you're having multiple authors, all the authors should be on board. Remember this thing, because uh, we don't want to have any conflict during the publication process. Sometimes the collaborators, the researchers, they are having conflict of interest. Hmm? So we have to manage the conflict of interest. How we can enhance, how we can leverage. We can network, we can attend the conferences, and during the conferences we can meet the editors, uh, we can join academic associations and collaboration opportunities. For example, if the LinkedIn is very good platform, you can send the request to specific scholars by seeing their research profile. Obviously, from this Google Scholar, which is open for us. Um, look into their profile. If your interest, your area of research is matching with specific scholar or researcher or experienced researcher, you can request on LinkedIn, and you can try to collaborate with them. If uh, they are they say okay, then go ahead. Okay, share your idea, or even if you have uh, ready for submission paper, you can ask for their expert opinion, and you can ask that we can collaborate in this way. So they will give you a feedback. So there are more chances of good publication or high impact factor publication with collaboration with such like good names or good scholars. Where most papers fails, common errors across stages, different stages of the publication process, starting from the manuscript drafting and till the submission, or after having even some journals, after second round of revision or third round of revision, they reject the paper because the authors are not seriously or diligently handling the reviewer comments or editor's comments. Okay, so it's exhaustive, and out of exhaustion, they reject the paper even after second round or third round of revision. Avoidable mistakes, which are you can avoid almost all the mistakes. Okay, with the passage of time, researchers learn from this journey. Okay, ethical risks: avoid the data manipulation, falsification, avoid the plagiarism, uh, ignoring the guidelines. This is another issue. Poorly written abstracts, incomplete data analysis, submitting to the wrong journal. Again, what are the key takeaways from this seminar? Focus on the quality research, choose journals wisely, be persistent and prepared to revise. And during the revision and addressing the reviewer comments, be patient. Sometimes some reviewers' tone is not appropriate for researchers, but keep patience and be persistent and handle all the reviewer comments wisely rather than aggressively. Okay, engage with the academic community, and remember, publishing is not the end, but the beginning of engaging with the global research community. So be prepared. You will have rejections, even after having 20 years of experience. Even though you will have rejection from the editors, from the reviewers. So keep patience and follow this scheme. You will be succeeded. Here are some call for papers. These are the special issues I'm leading. Journal of Global Operation and Strategic Sourcing. Okay, okay, this is the first one. And the second one is benchmarking. These are Scopus, Web of Science, ABDC listed journals. These are subscriptions, or they are having both open access or subscription. You can publish free of cost there. You can submit there, nothing to pay. But these two are open access. You have to pay to the publisher. So these are very specific to the supply chain, by the way. But from this large number of participants, I'm expecting that there are some supply chain professionals also who are interested. So you can submit to this, and you can drop me an email also. Okay, you can take the liberty from this platform. And I think so that's all from my side. Let me check. Yes, that's all.
That was great. That was really insightful. Personally, I had a lot of issues during paper submission. And you were talking about all my obstacles that I was facing with during my submission process. So I think it was really insightful for others as well. Do you want to show anything else as you told about other platforms or publishers or
Yes, let me go over.
okay? And is it okay if I send your email address to the Zoom
Yes,
chat
you
or
yeah,
can
yes,
I?
you can. Yes, you
Oh,
can.
okay, I will find it, send it now. Thank you.
Yes, okay. I'm looking for elsewhere. Let's suppose I will talking about see, this is the general finder for elsewhere that we can copy and paste the title. Let's suppose I'm finding some. Just give me a second. Let's suppose I'm pasting my abstract here. So see, different journals are there. Okay, learning and individual differences and so current opinion in psychology. And in the same manner, we can have other databases. This is Springer. So here it comes, Journal of Business Psychology, quality and quantity. So how it works. The second thing I was trying to share with you how to address the reviewer comments. I normally follow this scheme and it's successful. It's pretty clear for the reviewers to identify that how I have addressed the issues. Mm, see, author response to reviewer comments, manuscript ID, title, and then review. This column is about the comments, reviewer comments, or if there are editors' comments, you can put the editor comments here and your response, author response here. Okay. So here in the status column, I can use full address. I can write the fully addressed or partially addressed, or just simply saying thanks or referring it to detailed comments. So the reviewer can see and read the author response carefully, and it's very clear that fully addressed. Some could be partially addressed, and you can justify that why are you partially addressed, not fully addressed, huh? Another form is like you can have paragraph one, author comment number one, and then your response, then comment number two, your response. So I prefer this scheme because in the table I can mention that partially or fully addressed and why I'm not addressing. So It's more systematic for me. Yes, that's all. If any question, I can share my screen again, or yes.
Yeah, if anybody has questions, I can let them ask their questions. Just okurlar izni ko'tarsaizlar Zoom'da kimda savol bor, or they can type their questions to the chat as well. Let me check the chat. Hands up, and I will let you ask your questions. Well, let me ask question till our participants like formulate their questions.
Mm-hmm.
Can our students or professors get any chance of working together with any staff from your institutions on working any academic research paper? Because even though we have a lot of students with burning desire to prepare their research, still they're not strong enough. So, and that's why collaborating with international professors like you would be really great for our students. So, will they have any chance? Like, can they send their resumes? Maybe, I don't know. Is it possible? Or
Yes. Now I think so. Everyone is having my email ID. They can share their ideas. Yeah, I will try to hook up with appropriate faculty. So we are having very seasoned and good faculty from all the business and management fields, and also from accounting and finance field. So definitely we can collaborate in this way.
this is great.
Yeah.
And I have already informed all our staff and students about the upcoming annual conference as well. I told them once we get the information, I will send them because many of us are interested in traveling to US with the chance of participating to this conference as well.
Great, great. So we are still in process because some we are public sector, you know. So because of the public sector, there are more red tapes, and there are some challenges which we are dealing with. So hopefully we will get through it, and we will have some positive outcome.
I'm very sorry for the problem because it's after 6 p.m. Not many people stay at work.
Okay, I can
So yeah, that's
understand. Yeah.
and I think it's okay if I ask one my personal question about our book chapter, if possible, because
Yes. Yeah.
I'm still interested. I saw that just it is the how to say it's like the motivation to all participants because I participated the annual conference and our book. The proceeding of our conference is already on the website. Where it's going to be published with Taylor and Francis. And we already got our DOI numbers, and I can see my paper already on my ORCI ID and ResearchGate. Will it be included in Scopus in the indexed base or not?
No, we cannot promise because Taylor and Francis, we can ask them and they will submit to the Scopus, and hopefully we will get it, but we cannot promise that because it's altogether a different process and very lengthy, hectic process with the Scopus. Yeah, even if they are agree and it meets the requirement, it will take like 1 to 2 years more.
Oh, I understand it. I understand it. Okay,
Yeah.
but still, thank you for working that hard because I saw that this is the really big book with a lot of papers. So there is the
Yes.
question on our chat. Well,
Uh-huh.
as a journal reviewer, what are the most common weaknesses or mistakes you observe in the introduction section of submitted manuscript?
Great. Weak research gap, not clear research gap, and no clear contribution of the research. Okay. And sometime the authors, they miss the research questions, which is very important. Okay, for quantitative perspective again, because there are differences in qualitative and quantitative. So in quantitative, sometimes the research questions are not there. No clear research objective, no clear research gap, and they're overclaiming that this is first of this kind of research and this and that. This is very novel, just claiming, overclaiming, but there is nothing in the research paper. I just recently published on this issue, by the way. Let me share my screen again. Uh, I recently published on this issue and highlighted that why this is happening again and again in them. Yes, I found it. I can share the link in the chat box also, so can read it. Here it goes. Somehow this research addressed the same thing, and I last night I submitted a revision to management research review or something like journal, and that is also addressing the same issue, that what are the inferential diagnostics in the organizational research, and what are the common problems, how authors, reviewers, and editors uh, can validate the research or all the submissions. That's not discouraging for rigorous studies, but it's adding somehow that how we can enhance or make sure the good quality of research. Okay, I hope I have addressed the answer. Yeah, addressed the question of.
Okay. But I think you didn't send the link to your paper on the chat, I think.
I'm sending. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And we had one person, the student, who was asking, who wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Let me find this person. I think she can speak now.
Good morning. Yeah. Good evening. I want to ask the question. Oh my gosh. No video? Could you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you for your lecture, after all. And I have actually two questions. The first one is I want to introduce myself. I'm a Medina, a future researcher on econometrics and statistics. And I'm doing analysis on my topic related to creative economy. And I have collected the data according to my topic. And recently I saw that my data are updated. And in that case, as an international expert, what would you do? And the second question is, I'm doing my research on benchmarking. I saw some journal name on benchmarking. If I have any question on this topic, could you please assist me on by email, maybe?
Yes, yes, I can. You can email me your question about the benchmarking,
Mhm.
and yeah, I can address. So for the data, you mentioned that you have already collected the data, and now
Yeah,
that data has been updated in the database or where?
BS.
In the
Cross
database.
section, cross section. I don't know what is the name. It's cross section data I have collected on the unique date site.
Okay, okay. You can mention the dates. You can come up with the dates that I have collected data on this and that date or during this period of year,
Mhm.
like 2020, Jan
20,
2026.
2026
Maybe
January.
January. Yeah,
Yes.
you can mention that I collected this data
Mhm.
during this because the databases are continuously updating themselves. So
Uh-huh.
no need to worry. Just mention the time period.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There will be no gap, yes, on this matter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your information.
Mm-hmm. I'm sharing also the call for papers links in the chat box. So mhm,
Additionally, just for the information,
mhm,
if you mention after our meeting on the Doom,
mhm,
you provided me the information about the journals, call for papers,
mhm,
um, and our students know about them. So, yep.
mhm,
And we will inform them one more time again.
mhm.
And some of our students are already like submitting their papers, if I'm not mistaken. Today, one of them just wrote me
Yeah.
that the paper is ready.
So great. So is there any KPI for the PhD researchers that they have to produce one paper or two paper during PhD?
Starting from 2026 September, Doctor of Science students uh, must have at least two Scopus Q1 or Q2 papers, and the author should be only one. I mean, only them. No any co-authorship. This is the obligation for them. And starting from the 2027, PhD students also must have at least one paper in Scopus Q1 or Q2 journals. So
Okay.
most of our doctorate students are first year students for now, and I think, and maybe fortunately, maybe unfortunately, I'm not sure, but they will have the obligation of publishing Scopus indexed journal before like defending their thesis.
That's cool. That's cool. I have shared the links in the chat box, and these journals are Q1, and one of them is Q2, but others are Q1 in Scopus database. So you hopefully I will see some papers from you guys. Okay, so yeah, um, it was wonderful having you. Uh, large number of participants. I really enjoyed, but no more questions. I was anticipating that more questions will come, and yeah, and even though you can ask
Yeah,
now if you want to, yeah.
I think it was more insightful than expected because really even I didn't expect that much information because I'm also in the process of learning and we learned a lot.
Mm.
And unfortunately, we couldn't gather more than 100 students, participants, due to the Zoom obligations. More
Mhm.
than 50 additional participants were also trying to join, but they couldn't. And that's why I was recording our meeting. And is it okay to share it online?
Yes, yes, no problem, and do also share with me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you want the video, or I can post it on YouTube and send you link if you want. How it's
Yes, yeah, yes, you
easy.
can.
It's
Yes, you
okay,
can.
right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I try to wrap up within 45 minutes so we can have last 15 minutes of Q&A, and I think so we are on time. That's good.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much. We really
Uh,
appreciate it. And
yeah.
just wait our papers on journals.
And I want to take leverage here for all PhD researchers and faculty. There is a very good conference in July and August, like 31st of July till 4th of August. It's Academy of Management, very large conference, very big name, Academy of Management. The faculty must know about the Academy of Management. It's happening in Philadelphia, United States. If somebody want to attend, yeah, we
Mhm.
can have a meetup there. I'm traveling for that conference during July and August, yeah. So hopefully we can see each other there.
Exactly.
Yeah, thousands of researchers, they come together during the Academy of Management conference. Editors, editor-in-chiefs. You will see. You can see a lot of people there.
Well, can you also provide the link for the conference if possible, of course? I
Yes,
will
yes,
I will
yes. I
share
can.
it, yep, on our
Mm,
official channels as well.
y- Yes. This is from Academy of Management. I'm just attendee. Okay,
Ah,
I'm not
I
from the
thought
yeah.
you're organizer or editor again.
No, 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 no. But it's very good conference. That's why I wanted to share with you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Plenty of
here.
information. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah. The Academy of Management, they are having top tier journals in the management field, like Academy of Management Perspectives, Academy of Management Annals, Academy of Management Journal. So these are big names, top of the list, you can say.
Yeah, I see. Well, thank you very much. This was really great and amazing. Thank you for spending your valuable time to teach us a lot from your knowledge. This is highly appreciated. And I hope to see you again in US.
Yeah, sure. So we will connect through email, and thank you
Exactly.
very much. Yeah, and bye bye, and
Thank
good
you
night.
too.
Good night,
Thank you very much.
and
Have a nice day.
assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.